You know, Jesus is going to come back, and when he does, it's going to be with a rod of iron upon all nations. And many of these nations are not going to like what Jesus is going to do. Now, I'm going to be reading Psalm 2, and we're going to read the whole chapter. Why do the nations rage, and the people plot a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their bonds in pieces and cast away their cords from us. He who sits in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall take them in derision. Then he shall speak to them in his wrath and distress them in his deep displeasure. Yet I have set my king on my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The Lord has said to me, You are my son. Today I have begotten you. Ask of me, and I will give you the nations for your inheritance, and the ends of the earth for your possession. You shall break them with a rod of iron. You shall dash them to pieces like a potter's vessel. Now therefore be wise, O kings. Be instructed, you judges of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and you perish in the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are those who put their trust in him. I love the beginning of Psalm 2 because it asks a question: why do the nations rage and the people plot a vain thing? Do you think you could outsmart God? Do you think you could overpower God? Do you think you could outthink God in all matters? No, you can't. So why are the nations raging? Because they can't. They can't. And why are the people plotting a vain thing? It's worthless. It's empty. It's not going to happen. No matter what they try to do, they're not going to stop what God has said he's going to do. If you know the story of Nebuchadnezzar and his dream in Daniel, chapter 2, and we know what it says about the head of gold, the arms of silver, the thighs of brass, and the legs of iron, and the feet mixed with clay and iron. We know that story. We even see images of it in artwork today. And then it says this in Daniel. In verse 34 of Daniel, it says, You watched while a stone was cut without hands, which struck the image on its feet of iron and clay, and broke them into pieces. Then the iron and the clay and the bronze and the silver and the gold were crushed together and became like chaff in the summer's threshing floor. The wind carried them away so that there was no trace of them was found. And the stone that struck the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. The last part of verse 35. And the stone that struck the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. The stone was Jesus. Jesus is the rock of our salvation. Jesus came back. He crushed the nations of the earth. You will have your season in a little while. But when your time is up, I'm coming. I'm coming to judge you and to crush you. I'm going to crush your system of idolatry. People who worship gold, worship money. People who worship the statues of materialistic things are going to get crushed by the rock. That stone, which is Jesus, is going to crush every single piece of that idol, and it's turning into powder. It says that they were crushed together and became like chaff from the summer threshing floors. Bits and pieces of it just blew away. It became nothing. It was dust. Dust is all that will remain of these kingdoms and the system that they bring in the world today. Gold is nothing. Silver is nothing. Bronze, iron, clay, all is nothing in the end. Because who created them all? It was God, the rock of our salvation. God created everything. He laid the foundations of the earth from the very beginning. In Isaiah chapter 44, verses 6 through 8, it says this: "Thus says the Lord, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, I am the first and the last. Besides me there is no God, and who can proclaim as I do? Then let him declare it and set it in order for me, since I appointed the ancient people and the things that are coming and shall come. Let them show these things to them. Do not fear, nor be afraid. Have I not told you from that time and declared it? You are my witness. Is there a God beside me? Indeed, there is no other rock. I know not one." Think about Isaiah chapter 44 for a minute. Just think about what God is saying to us right here. He says, I am the first and the last. We know what it says in Revelations. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, right? He says it in the book of Isaiah as well. He completes every testament, the old and the new. What he says in the old, he says in the new as well. He did not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill what the law had said and what the prophets had said in the scriptures. Now think about it. He says in the Old Testament, I am the first and the last. In the New Testament, I am the first and the last. I am the Alpha. I am the Omega. He says in verse 7, and who can proclaim as I do? There is no one like me, God is saying. There ain't no one that can compare to me. I am the beginning and the end. I know what's going to happen. I control everything. Let him declare it and set it before me, since I appointed the ancient people, and the things that are coming shall come. I know all. I know every detail. I know everything. Everything about you from the beginning to the end. He says, don't be afraid. Have I not told you from that time and declared it? You are my witness. There is no rock that I know of. No, not one. There is no rock that can compare to the rock of my salvation, my friends. The rock of my salvation. Verse 9 of chapter 44 in Isaiah says this: those who make an image, all of them are useless, and their precious things shall not profit. They are their own witness. They neither see nor know, that they may be ashamed. Who will form a god or a mold of an image that profits him nothing? What are your idols today? What are the things that you would hold higher than God? God says it's going to profit you nothing. God is a jealous God. He says, I am the Lord your God, and you shall have no other gods before me. He said it in the Word, in his 10 Commandments. Deuteronomy chapter 32. The Song of Moses. Moses says this, Give ear, O heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. Let my teaching drop as the rain, my speech distill as the dew, as raindrops on the tender herb, and as showers on the grass. For I proclaim the name of the Lord. Ascribe greatness to our God. He is the rock. His work is perfect. For all his ways are justice. A God of truth and without injustice. Righteous and upright is he. They have corrupted themselves. They are not his children because of their blemish. A perverse and crooked generation. Do you thus deal with the Lord, O foolish and unwise people? Is he not your father who bought you? Has he not made you and established you? Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask your father, and he will show you. Your elders, and they will tell you. When the Most High divided their inheritance to the nations, he separated the sons of Adam. He set the boundaries of the peoples according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the place of his inheritance. He found him in the desert land and in the wasteland, a howling wilderness. He encircled him. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye. As the eagle stirs up its nests, hovers over its young, spreading out its wings, taking them up, carrying them on its wings. So the Lord alone led him, and there was no foreign god with him. He made him ride in the heights of the earth, that he might eat the produce of the fields. He made him draw honey from the rock, and oil from the flinty rock, curds from the cattle, and milk of the flock, with fat of lambs, and rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats with the choicest wheat. And you drank wine, the blood of the grapes. But Jeshurun grew fat and kicked. You grew fat. You grew thick. You are obese. Then he forsook God who made him, and scornfully esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to jealousy with foreign gods. With abominations, they provoked him to anger. They sacrificed to demons, not to God, to gods they did not know, to new gods, new arrivals, that your fathers did not fear. Of the rock who begot you, you are unmindful, and have forgotten the God who fathered you. And when the Lord saw it, he spurned them, because of the provocation of his sons and his daughters. He said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end will be, for they are a perverse generation. Children in whom is no faith, they have provoked me to jealousy by what is not God. They have moved me to anger by their foolish idols, but I will provoke them to jealousy by those who are not a nation. I will move them to anger by a foolish nation. For a fire is kindled in my anger, and shall burn to the lowest hell. It shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. I will heap disasters on them. I will spend my arrows on them. They shall be wasted with hunger, devoured by pestilence and bitter destruction. I will also send against them the teeth of beasts, with the poison of serpents and of the dust. The sword shall destroy outside. There shall be terror within, for the young man and virgin, the nursing child with the man of gray hairs. I would have said, I will dash them to pieces. I will make the memory of them to cease from among men. I have not feared the wrath of the enemy, lest their adversaries should misunderstand, lest they should say, our hand is on high. And is it not the Lord who has done all this? For they are a nation void of counsel, nor is there any understanding in them. Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this, that they would consider their latter end. How could one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight, unless their rock had sold them, and the Lord had surrendered them? For their rock is not like our rock. Even our enemies themselves being judges, for their vine is of the vine of Sodom, and of the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of gall, their clusters are bitter, their wine is the poison of serpents, and the cruel venom of cobras. Is it not laid up in store with me, sealed among my treasures? Vengeance is mine, and recompense. Their foot shall slip in due time, for the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things to come hasten upon them. For the Lord will judge his people, and have compassion on his servants, when he sees that their power is gone, and there is no one remaining, bond or free. He will say, where are all their gods, the rock in which they sought refuge? Who ate the fat of their sacrifices, and drank the wine of their drink offering? Let them rise and help you, and be your refuge. Now see that I, even I, am he, and there is no God beside me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Nor is there any who can deliver from my hand. For I raise my hand to heaven and say, as I live forever, if I whet my glittering sword, and my hand takes hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to my enemies, and repay those who hate me. I will make my arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, with the blood of the slain and the captives, from the heads of the leaders of the enemy. Rejoice, O Gentiles, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants and render vengeance on his adversaries. He will provide atonement for his land and his people. It's a lot to take in, but there is no one like God. This is the song of Moses. There is no one like God. God is going to crush any and everything in his path. Those who do not respect and fear him will face judgment. But even after all this, God still wants us to preach to these nations. Keep pressing forward with his gospel to them. God is a just God, yes, but he's merciful too. He doesn't want the wrath of his judgment upon those on the earth. It's supposed to be for Satan and his fallen angels, but Satan is dragging everyone he can with him into the pits of hell. It's vital that we as Christians preach to all, in all nations, everywhere we can, anywhere we can. God's wrath upon wickedness is real. People say, only God can judge me. Yes, only God can judge you. And that should make you afraid if you are not saved and redeemed under the blood of the Lamb. Because if you are not, this is what's going to happen. I desire mercy, God says. God is the rock, and there's honey in the rock. There's honey in the word. There's honey, and there's oil in the rock. There is so much rich food in the word. It fills you, it sustains you. Grow stronger every day. Let the word sink in your mind. Let it sink deep within your heart. Meditate on it. Be alive in him. God bless you, my brothers and sisters.